Hello, hi, it's Jackie again here from St Leonard's Reiki. I am here to talk to you about the inner child today. I have been doing a lot of work with the inner child. Well, I'm always working with my inner child, but yeah, a lot of work with other people as well. And it's a lovely thing to do because it's really, really very easy and we can do it ourselves. And I know a lot of therapies, including EFT, which I use, work with the inner child concept really, that there is a problem within, very deeply set, and it stems from childhood. So, really, if you want to do inner child work yourself, you can. And there's some ways to do it. The first one is acknowledge that the inner child exists. So, you've got to talk to yourself. Yeah, you've got to imagine that little tiny child that is within you and kind of maybe look for photographs and see if you can find a photo of what you looked like when you were little. Randomly pick an age and focus on that image in your mind and get to know them. Start to have a relationship with this inner part of you. And, it might seem a bit mad, but this is what most therapy is. Most therapy is looking within and talking. And talking to yourself is really therapeutic. Oh my gosh. So acknowledge and listen. And if you can just be quiet and you can strike up a conversation in your mind, I know that sounds a bit crazy saying it out loud, but if you're at home on your own, then do. And just ask them how they're feeling. If you can see an inner child sitting somewhere or playing and in your mind and ask them how they're feeling because quite often the acknowledgement of the inner child is the big part that actually like an alcoholic acknowledging that they've got a problem, that is that is that's the biggest step. So if you can acknowledge that you have this inner child within you who may be hurting and maybe may have been traumatized. You don't need to go back to the trauma. You don't need to dredge up lots of traumatic emotions, but just try and find your inner child and have a little look round in your body. You'll find her or him by locating where any pain is in your body, where any disharmony is, where any sadness is. Just have a look. Just sit with your body and see what you can find. And then just as I said, strike up a conversation and see what happens, see what comes up. You could, the other way of doing this, if that sounds difficult, is you could write. If you're a writer or you love creative writing or you're into journaling, this is a great way of doing it. Write a letter to your inner child. Yeah, strike up a friendship with your inner child. Just asking them how they are, what it is that what are they needing? What is it they need? What's wrong? How can we help? What is it they need help with? Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just as you would do if you came across a lost child in a play park or something. Oh, what's your name? Who are you? Where are you from? Why are you on your own? Why are you lost? What help do you need? Yeah, how can I help you? And then just pretty much journaling, just seeing what comes up. What are you getting from your little moments with your child? What's coming up? How do you feel in your body? What does it stir up? How does it make you feel? Because it will bring things up. And you don't have to go really, really deep but don't be afraid to go deep because it's in going deep and that we release, because we're full of knots. Our bodies are full of knots, and they're the blockages. Yeah, so if we can just unravel a knot a little bit, hurrah! Because if we can unravel and loosen these blockages, this negativity, you're freeing yourself up for today. You're preventing yourself from being limited. Because remember, if you're living from a child's perspective of beliefs, that were made when you were 5, you're not really open to your full potential. And also, going back to your inner child is really therapeutic, and it's not quite as traumatic as maybe I'm making out to be, because you're an adult with an adult perspective. You're really grown up now, and you have this fuller viewpoint of the world. So when you meet your inner child and they're lost and frightened and scared, although that is you, a part of you, you're not in that place anymore. You're stronger and braver, and you have many, many tools to fall back on, to support you and them. So you can bring that to them. And then when you help them, you're helping yourself. You're helping yourself. So the other thing to say is, if you can bring some joy of childhood into your daily life, that will really help them. So it might be that you weren't allowed to do some things. Maybe you weren't allowed to get messy or stick your hand in a mud pie as much as you wanted to, or be like a tomboy. Maybe you were a girl and you couldn't go out and play like you wanted to. Maybe you were always inside, or just be free. I want you to bring some of that playfulness into your life. And quite often I talk about creativity with people. Um, Quite often we're talking about the sacral chakra and our emotions and our desires and wishes, and how that lives there, and that drives us, and it makes us who we are and tells us what it is we like. Well, again, that's the childishness, playfulness coming out. And we mustn't lose that. If we lose that, we lose our joy, or our life, and our passions, and we need to tap into that. So try and bring some sort of joy back into your life. If you feel that might be difficult, then maybe try and look at photographs again, like I said, and remember what it was you enjoyed. Because it can be difficult, that childhood can seem a long time away. Being a child can seem like you never were a child. For some people, childhood was a difficult time, and maybe they have never felt like a child. But maybe there's a toy stashed away in the attic that you loved. Maybe you really loved drawing, or you adored um, flying a kite. I don't know. Try and catch on to something that really sparked your imagination when you're a child. Because I know in Ayurvedic medicine, they often refer to our natural state as being how it was when we were children. So if we were very slim, or what it was we loved doing, that's really probably where we should be now. So to bring some essence of joy and play into your life, I think that's really important. And I think that's why adult colouring is taken off. It's very mindful, and mindfulness is really being like a child. A child doesn't get stressed, really. A child is always in that open capacity of play and wonder. So yeah, absolutely, we need to be in the here and now, in the present. And if we can imagine that we are like a child, maybe that would help us. I keep seeing dandelion, dandelions where they go to seed. I keep seeing them in the garden everywhere now, because it's that time of year, and that brings out the child in me. I would never ever think, oh, I used to love blowing dandelion seeds everywhere. But when I see it's difficult not to pick one and want to do it, and then are they dandelions that when they've gone, when all the seeds have gone, they're just like a seed head? And then I used to go like that and pop it off. So definitely the garden and all the joy of the garden does that for me. Because I think, when we were younger, that's what we did, didn't we? We just went out and played. Maybe we didn't have so many toys and digital toys like they have now. So the garden, sticks, and makes me sound really old. Um, but yeah, yeah, nature were our toys. And lastly, leave the door open. So leave the door open, and by that I mean always allow your child to be there with you. And I often say to people, take your child with you. So when you're going to walk the dog on the common, imagine that you're buckling your inner child in the seat next to you and saying, "Come on, let's go for a walk. Have you got your wellies on?" And really just make every moment fun. And I was talking about a scene from a film the other day. I think Whoopi Goldberg is in it, called Karina, and I just loved it because she was looking after a little girl that was not very well, and she was trying to get her to find her joy, this little girl. And they were in the car, and when she got to the traffic light, she was pretending that she could blow the traffic lights like you blow a dandelion and make them change colour. Obviously, she timed it and thought, I think it's going to change in a minute. So she'd go like that. And this little girl loved that, because to children, everything can be magical. And I think that is joyous, isn't it? Magic. Why do we all love Harry Potter? Because there is magic in this world, but I think that is really available when you're a child. Everything is magical and mystical. Anything could happen. If you saw a dinosaur walk around the corner of your road when you're 3, you'd probably, be quite accepting of that because your brother's got loads of dinosaurs in his cupboard at home. Yeah, so we need to keep the door open for that wonder in life. Yeah, so yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the inner child today. So please, to heal the inner child, just notice them, because if you can heal the inner child, you're obviously healing yourself. But we've got to go back and do the work. Don't chase the smoke. Don't spend your whole life chasing the smoke and just trying to make yourself feel better now. No, you've got to go back and find out what's triggered you. What is the underlying factor that has caused the problems? And it's usually inner child work. So just, yeah, try and tap into your inner child. Find an old photo of how you used to look, and try and access them in your body. And you can do that by sitting still and talking to them, writing to them, journaling, getting out there and feeling childlike yourself, blowing some dandelions or some traffic light colours, and leave the door open for them. So I'm going to do another video in a few days, and I'll try to, don't hold me to that, but it might be a week. And I'm going to bring you the beautiful Hawaiian healing therapy that is called Ho'oponopono. I'm never really quite sure how you say that, but you can use that in relationship to inner child work, and I love using that. So I'll share that with you very, very soon. So anyway, love to you all. Please, please have a go at accessing your inner child, writing to them, talking to them, healing them, and therefore freeing yourself. And let me know how you get on. Okay, bye for now. See you very soon. Bye.